Hi there, I'm Lauren. So a little bit of background information about me. I went to Bradley University in Peoria for my bachelor's degree. I was kind of drawn to dietetics during high school. I come from a family of healthcare professionals, and I kind of knew that was the path I wanted to take, but I also knew the doctor and nurse wasn't for me per se. And somebody kind of just suggested to me one day about dietetics, and I looked it up kind of to see what it was, and I just fell in love with it. The idea of being able to work with people to help them have healthier eating habits that could literally change their life around just seems like a lot of fun to me. Um, and I kind of really like it because I just kind of feel like the missing puzzle piece in my family. Everybody's a doctor, everybody's a nurse, so um, I get to be that last puzzle piece to offer them to the best care for patients. And ultimately, I am hoping to find a job in pediatrics. I volunteered at the Cancer Center in Peoria during my undergrad, and it was a really cool experience. So it would be really cool to work with that population. But I also know there's a lot more to learn with pediatrics, and just dietetics in general. So I'm keeping an open mind. A fun fact about me, I have 4 siblings, and between my siblings, my parents, and myself, there are 5 dogs in the family and one cat. So, busy household. And to me, I think in order to be a leader, you need to understand the importance of delegating tasks. The leader can't take total control and do all the work themselves. They really do need to utilize their followers and their teammates, because otherwise they just have extra unnecessary stress on them, and the project may not be the best it could be. But on the flip side, it's also important that the leader understands that delegating tasks does not mean they do not have to do anything. They need to have their fair share. Maybe it's not doing a portion of the project necessarily, but being involved still in different ways, not just letting their team do everything on their own and not having any say in it. So some characteristics and qualities that a leader has to have, from my own experience, they need to be a good listener, first and foremost. They need to listen to what their followers are saying. They may have a good idea that can help the project be better. They may also have some concerns. They also just may be having some problems finishing their portion and may need some help. So I think it's really important to listen to their teammates and their followers and kind of go pursue the project from there. It's also really important to be open-minded because they may have to change things around last minute. They're especially if their followers are the ones who are working on it mainly, they may have better ideas. And an example of this actually happened when I was at the Cancer Center. The dietitian on staff wanted us to create those sugar tubes that lets you see how much sugar are in certain foods. And the tubes we bought couldn't fit all the sugar that we were going to add because we did full meals instead of just a Snickers bar. And so we went and talked with the dietitian and gave her our ideas and let her know how we think going this way might be better. And she loved the idea, was very open to it, gave us some suggestions to kind of help improve it. So it was just a really good team atmosphere, and it made it really easy to work. And we ended up making great products that were really helpful for her when she was teaching her patients. I think another really important characteristic is to have trust in your team while also being trustworthy. You have to understand and believe that your team does know what they are talking about and they can do the job to their fullest potential. And you also have to, your team has to be able to trust in you too and trust that you are doing the right thing, that you can be helpful to. So another experience that has shaped my philosophy, there was a group project that I had, it was kind of due towards the end of the semester. It was during that time where everybody had their last minute tests, last minute projects they had to get done, so it was a really busy time in the semester. And I could just kind of tell that this project in particular was getting pushed off more and more. And I stepped up and became the leader. I kind of talked with my group. I told them, like, oh, like, let's meet this day, bring suggestions, bring resources so we can kind of bounce off the ideas, and then this way we can kind of delegate who's going to be doing what task, and so on and so forth. I was the one pretty much who like organized like what needed to be done by when and so on and so forth. So this was both a learning experience and it kind of helped shape my philosophy. I did learn how important it is to delegate, and with that you have to be very specific with your delegations. You can't just say, oh, this needs to be done by this time. You have to specifically tell this group member to do this portion by this day, and then obviously listen, and if your teammate is having a hard time and there is communication, like you can step in and whatnot, but giving each person specific delegations instead of just saying overall this is what needs to get done, because it's less likely to get done that way. I also did learn that it's really important to listen to the concerns of your team members, just because if they are really overwhelmed and really stressed and don't feel like they can do it, you need to be there and you need to help them, whether it just be a little boost of confidence or just reminding them that they can do it and you can help them in any way they need. And so for me personally, I feel much more comfortable as a follower than I do a leader, and I really only become a leader if I have to step up and become one. I'm not really comfortable delegating tasks. I don't like telling people this is what they have to do. It's not really comfortable for me, especially because I don't know what's going on with their lives. I don't want to tell them they have to do these things. I prefer to focus on like my own task at hand, instead of trying to do my task while also helping the team. Obviously, I'm a team player, but I do feel much more comfortable being the follower than I do the leader necessarily. I kind of like being the person that can bounce ideas around instead of being the person that they're kind of relying on to be the person in charge.